then just go. You signed your franchise tag. Get the hell in here. That's the way I see it, man. Get in here. I know we're talking about a contract. You can be on the field earning your $10.346 million while we're working on the contract. And that's what you should be doing. Right now, you're the leader in the locker room. And there's a bunch of newbies running around this place. They don't even know where the bathroom is. Who's going to show them where the bathroom is? You gotta have Marcus May in there. You signed it. The Denzel Mims playing with the threes and playing with the twos, it's nothing. It doesn't mean a thing. He's not getting cut. I'm telling you. I am telling you right now, Denzel Mims is not getting cut this year. It's not happening. Do I have any inside track information? No. I'm just telling you because I have common sense. But let me tell you something. He proved without a doubt that he can play in the NFL. No doubt in my mind. And the coaches know that too. Guess what? They're making you earn it. Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to the Blood Red Green Bean Thursday thick of it. We're going to have a good time tonight because I have been arguing with people all day long on Jabari mother effing Zuniga. What do you think of that? What do you think of Jabari Zuniga, man? I told you he'd be back. I told you Chris Herndon would be traded, did I not? Everybody laughed at me. Everybody throws things at me. Everybody calls me fat and ugly and old. And I'm not. I'm not those things. Right? I am smart and I want respect. That's what I want. So what's up, dudes? This is going to be a good night, man. This is going to be a good night. Sneakers to Boots is here. Big Green is here, man. Big Green is here, man. We have Mr. Magix and E-Rocket, Mobob, Brian Lemos is here, Ingle, Tyson Matting. Yeah, man. Holton's here, Captain Techno. I almost called you Keno. Captain Keno. You got Big Block Joe. Yeah, man. Jets forever. John Postman is here. Daniel Roberts. Jamie Nagar. What's up, guys? What's up? It's so good to see you guys. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. We got John Rogers all the way from under. Man, isn't it cool to have such a consistent buddy from down in Australia? We got Bismo Charismo from down there too. We have a couple New Zealand boys. In addition to the Australia, we got people from all over the place. We got our England crew, our UK crew. And I want to tell you guys something. I put out a little blurb today saying, hey, you know what? I really want to have like a stats guy. It's becoming more and more difficult for me to kind of talk to you guys, look at the chat, manage the chat, and still look up stuff that we're talking about. I'm always like, hold on, I'm going to look this up. And it takes the flow out. And then by the time I come back, you guys are on another subject and I'm talking. Everybody's like, dude, that was 10 minutes ago. So I put out a little blurb, and within seconds, one of our own just jumped right in and said, hey, man, I think I'd like to help you out with that. So hanging out in the back, I think it's okay if we say hello to him. I'm gonna bring him on. I don't know if he's ready. I can't tell. But we have one of our own. You'll recognize it as soon as I say it. Watu-K99 is sitting in the waiting room. He wants to hang out and help with the stats and the info. Isn't that cool? Let's say hello to him. What do you guys think? I'm going to say hello. I hope he's ready. Hope he's got good internet. Here he comes. I'm going to bring him on. Let's see if it works. If not, I'll bring him right off and we'll do it again later. Here he comes. You there?
I am here.
Let me see your Jets shirt.
Pretty simple. Just a straightforward Jets.
I love it.
Now, what I want is an all gas, no brake shirt. I'm waiting for that to become available. I want some all gas, no brake.
What about an all gas, no gas? Would you buy that one? I just made one.
I'm ashamed to share the same first name as him, to be honest with you.
Oh, right on, man. You know, that's tough. But so hey, dude, thank you for coming on and helping us out, man. As you know, you're here all the time. You're one of us, bro. And so you know how the flow goes and everything. So I really do appreciate you helping out. It's going to be good, man. We got stuff to talk about. I foresee tension. I foresee it. I just know we got Pirine tension. We got Josh Adams tension. We got tight end tension. We got Jabari Zuniga tension. It's going to get good. So I appreciate you hanging out. Yeah, just let me know when we're talking about stuff. If you could just kind of make it simple for me, that would be fantastic. Sound good?
I am here, whatever you need.
All right, man. Thank you. I'm going to bounce you back, but you're here all night, so I appreciate it. Thanks, man. So that is Watu-K99. How cool is that? How cool is that, man? I love that it's one of our own. Right away, it wasn't a minute. I said, hey, let me just try this. Boom. And boom, he was there in a minute. I want to say hello to somebody else. This is Teen Bean, as you guys know. He's here. He wanted to say hello to you guys. They put him at tight end today. He's been playing cornerback. They put him at tight end. This kid's made for tight end. What's the key for a tight end? Blocking. What's second?
Passing.
Well, catching. Right. Yeah. He knows. That's it. Tight end's got to do what? Block. And when you go out, you got to do what? Catch. Then once you get the ball, what do you do to the guy trying to tackle you? Say it.
Run him over.
Run him over. There it is. Come on. So thank you. Have a good night, my lovely son.
Have a good night, Father.
Yeah. So there he is. See, they're all saying, what's up, Team Bean? Tackle Bean. Frankie from Flatbush called you Tackle Bean.
Awesome.
Slough goes here. I see you. Frankie from Flatbush is here. Jeremy Cravat's here. You guys are the best. So let's do this. Let's get into something. I want to talk just because it's fresh. Just because it's super duper fresh and crispy. Let's talk about Jabari Zuniga. I want to know. And Watu-K99, could you tell me quickly his college stats? Jabari Zuniga's college stats. I think his best year was 6.5 sacks. Let me know if I'm correct. I think he had like 5 sacks, 6.5 sacks, stuff like that. But so what do you guys think? That's Y2J. See, yeah, Y2J. I love it. So there he is. That's our boy. I'm so psyched, man. I'm in the best mood because of it. I'm in the best mood. I feel like we're becoming a family, all of us guys. So yeah, that is. So Robin, real quick, and then we'll get into Jabari. He said, so do you think blocking was Yeboah's issue, keeping him from the roster? I think that was definitely one of the areas that he needs to work on, and they probably identified that right away. But I also think he had some serious drops, which could allude to him having difficulty absorbing the offense to the degree that they want him to. Because, I mean, look, he had drops in college. Now, he was not known as a drops guy, but he had some painful ones. And when they, it's like him learning and being in his head doesn't bode well for him. So, man, he's got all the talent in the world. I like it. I wowould love it if he was on the roster, but I think he will be. I think that he will be before the end of the year. Sadly, I'm not rooting for this in any capacity, but I just don't see Griffin, Croft, and Brown making it through the season all year. Okay, so thank you, Watu-K99, Y2J. Zuniga these are his years. So we had 5, 4, 6.5, and then 3. And the 3, he got injured that season. So as you can see, he's got that kind of consistent thing going on. And, he's not like nobody ever said Jabari Zuniga is the next Reggie White. Like that's not what we're talking about. But he's he's also strong in run support. Gets like 20, 30 tackles a year kind of thing. But thank you, man. So that's what we're looking at with Jabari Zuniga. So are you guys happy that he's back? Do you think he sucks? There was a buddy of mine, a guy that I talked to on Twitter, who I happen to like a great deal, but we rarely agree. It's one of those things. He said that Jabari Zuniga sucks, was a bad pick, and that's why the Jets cut him, because he sucks. And the reason that nobody picked him up is because he sucks. What do you guys think of this? I want to hear. What's up, Matt? I see you, buddy. Let's see what so Holton. Guy can't stay healthy, which means less reps, which means he will be left behind. I really do not think Zuniga is going to be more than a subpar rotational player. Interesting. But let me ask you this, Holton, and then we'll kick it around. In the event he stays healthy and he is a rotational player, let's say he's an average rotational player, somebody to come off the bench, get you 5 to 8 sacks a year, kind of a thing, 6, 7 sacks, like a Vinnie Curry kind of a guy. Is that good enough? Is that what we're looking at for guys in the third round? I'm asking. Let's see. So John Rogers says, "Good day, man. Rockaway Angel." Oh, he's saying hello to everybody. Look at this guy. He loves you guys. Let's see. What's up, Rusty Spooner? I see you, buddy. Danielle Yanez. He played scared. Who did? Yaboa? Let me see. Well, Bob, you know what happened? The first part of preseason, he had those couple drops in OTAs. Then he had another drop in minicamp. And then the first game, he had that. Remember, dude, he had that play where he fumbled. He got crushed. It wasn't his fault that he got tackled, but he fumbled the ball. And that was how the Giants scored the only points that they scored in the game. So it's tough to come back from that stuff. So I think that's really a good thing, Holton. I like how you said it, too. Zuniga will be just that, Green Bean. What's that? Let me see if he wrote something else. Yeah, 18 and a half sacks in 4 years at Florida. Last year he was injured. That's why he was so scared to take him, you know. Well, he does have more than the bull rush, you know, but here's the thing, like, so let me ask you guys this. I'll because I'm a Zuniga fan. Now, again, I'm not, if they decide to cut him, they cut him. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not like, you know, that's not how I'm wound. Like, I have my guys I like. I'm rooting for them, maybe a little bit more than I'm rooting for another guy. But if the Jets, you know, if he sucks, he sucks. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I look. I just want the best guys on the field. But Zuniga is somebody I believe in because I studied him. I dug in deep in college, you know, like, so I was watching this guy. And I happen to like him. Pirine, too, is another one. It's crazy how we got them both. And Hall. It was a great draft for me from that perspective. So, I see you, Austin. Let's see, but this is it. Justin Jets. Too early to say for sure he sucks. Time will tell. All we can do is guess. We aren't in the practices. We really don't know. Right. So my question for you guys is this. At what point, like, you look at guys like Clark, you look at guys like Zuniga and even Ashton Davis, right? These guys have been almost injured almost their entire stay here. Clark and Zuniga, Clark, all of it. Zuniga, most of it. I think he got 2 games in last year, but they stuck him at outside linebacker. A 270-pound defensive end at outside linebacker is not going to work. So how long do you think that you give a 3rd, 4th round pick, even a 2nd round pick? How long do you give these guys when injury is the thing holding them back? Realistically, give me a number. That's true, Daniel. He has not shown anything because he's hurt. In the Giants game, he had 2 or 3 plays. On the one play, there was a sack, and he did apply pressure. It wasn't him that sacked him, but that's the only thing I can tell you. It's certainly not enough to claim he did anything. Let's see. Zuniga is hurt. No, that's exactly, and that's what I was trying to say. Where'd he go? Where did it go? Let me see. So Ron Luizzo said it. He said, Zuniga's hurt. No one's going to pick him up, which is why, like, somebody was comparing Zuniga. They let him out there to risk because they knew nobody would pick him up because he sucks. And they kept a guy like Ashton Davis to put him on IR because he's more risk of getting taken. And I said, well, you want to risk if you're smart, you want to risk the guys that you have a good idea no one's going to pick up because of whatever the reason. If you want a guy back, you want 2 guys back, one of them's injured worse than the other one, you put him out there because nobody's going to take him. They're not going to put in a waiver claim for a guy who's hurt. All right. So just tell me, though, and then we can wrap up Zuniga. 10 years guaranteed. Steven Sitchell. That's funny. So, all right. Sneakers to Boot says 3 years. I don't know. Greg Tarr says 5 minutes. I don't know. You kept Rick Terry for 3 years and he did nothing. I don't know. I think it would depend on the situation. So Watu K99, he says 3 years. Right. Excuse me. Let's see what Eminon's saying. Zuniga, just like other players that have not been performing, they have to perform under this regime where they definitely do not belong and they will be gone. I mean, and that I agree with. But the thing is, we got to remember, see, like we're so involved with this stuff, like us as a group and Jets Twitter, right? And Jet Nation. We're like way up in this thing. We're way up in here. And it seems like guys have been around forever. But the truth is that he's had 1 year. That's it. 1. Not 2, not 5, 1. And on top of that, that was and I know, we keep saying it, but it's the truth. No training camp, no preseason. So guys were getting injured all over the place. It was just, and then we had the Gase thing and all that stuff. So it's like 1 year. Is that enough to label somebody? And it sounds like you guys, at least a lot of you agree. Jets Forever says 3. Sneakers to Boot says 3. Yeah, Steve. Braden Bethwaite. Hello, Braden. Says 3 as well. And Holton says 3. So, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So I think it's important to remember that for our own sanity. I mean, look, nothing we do affects the Jets, at least not anymore, right? We could fly banners and we could do all kinds of stuff and affect the Jets. I don't think this regime, while I think they care about us, I don't think we're affecting their moves because they actually believe in what they're doing, So, look, Steven Sitchell. So let's try to figure this guy out. He says, God, please bring back Adam Gase. So let's see. It's starting to feel trolly, isn't he? I don't know. Start to see 10 years guaranteed contract. Bring back Adam Gase. We'll see. Rex Gase 2021. Okay. I mean, I wonder how funny this stuff really is to someone. I'll give you your time, Steven. I'll give you your time. You know what I mean? All right. So are you happy he's back? Do you think it's worth, we still have 2 more practice squad spots, Yeah, hell yeah, Matt. Well, that's the thing. Look, as much of a fan as Jabari Zuniga as I am, honestly, I'm a supporter of his. Dude, you got to get healthy, man. you got to be able to play. We don't want to. This isn't a retirement home. This isn't a nursing home. So Justin Jets, we'll move on. I'm with you. I'm personally am happy Zuniga is back, especially in a practice squad capacity. Even in my prediction video, which was so wrong. Okay, all over the place. Every year we're most of us are pretty wrong. But I said Zuniga wasn't going to make the roster. I said it. I'm like, yeah, I don't see it. I see practice squad on him, and that's what happened. So Justin Jets brings up a good one. This will move us on to the next topic. Okay. So he says, I'm not happy Morgan went to the Panthers. Let me see. He was in our quarterback room. They were getting all kinds of intel from him. What do you guys think of that? What do you guys think about that? Have any thoughts on James Morgan? Did you hear what Coach Saleh said today about it? What do you guys think? I'm just trying to read your comments here. So the Panthers went ahead and claimed James Morgan off waivers. Do you think they were trying to squeeze him back? I think they probably were. Now, Joe Douglas said, hey, it happens. It happened with Davis Webb 2 years ago or last year, whatever it was. He said, hey, it happened with Davis Webb because this stuff happens. What are you going to do? Robert Saleh said, I don't know. He goes, if that's what they're doing, I don't know if we would ever do that. That's just not how we are. We're not going to go and try to grab secrets. That all said, I like that. Saleh's saying, dude, I'm going to kick your ass without secrets. You're trying to get secret intel and stuff. I'm going to punch you square in your face, secrets or no secrets. I don't need a secret to knock the hell out of you. So I like that. Now, what do you guys think is happening there? So Matt says, yeah, they can learn more from the tape than Morgan. You know, Y2K99, do you have Morgan's college stats? He was in the USA conference at FIU. I forget what his stats were. I think they were kind of terrible on top of that. Like, not just to be clear, I hated that pick. I said it 10,000 times. I supported him now that, when he was here, but it's like, I hated that pick. It is starting to look like it might be a Gase pick, though, isn't it? Doesn't it look like that? So Johnny P says, what's he really going to tell him? He's not super worried. Well, he could tell them, like, you know how when we go in preseason, Johnny, how we do a vanilla offense, we don't want to show too much. Like, there's two reasons for that. One is that, you don't want to overload your young quarterback. You don't want to overload anybody. You got a whole bunch of new guys learning this. You don't want to do that. And make it more complex, and then they stumble all over themselves and nothing happens. But other reason is you don't want to show too much of your offense. So maybe Morgan, who obviously studied the playbook, can tell them certain looks, what we're doing when we're in certain alignments, things like that. But I will tell you, it's never really, I don't know if it's ever really done much. I don't know. Sneakers to Boot says, I think Morgan will give minimal concepts. He probably didn't learn most of the playbook. Well, that's interesting. I don't know. I mean, I would think they gave it to him, right? I mean, maybe Frankie from Flatbush knows this. Do you know, do they teach all the concepts and everything, and then like the 2 weeks before the season, they're giving them all like the actual playbook? I don't know if they do that. Maybe Frankie knows. Maybe somebody knows. Maybe Y2K knows. Maybe somebody can figure that out for us. What are you talking about, Slaugo? I don't want to smoke cigarettes, man. It's not girly. This is for men. Old, tired men, dude. I don't know what you're talking about. I smoke cigarettes, smell like shit. I can honestly tell you, I don't think I'll ever smoke a cigarette in my life. I smoked plenty of them, but I don't think I'll ever do that one again. I said it before, but this is almost done. I'm just about done with it. I'm just kind of done with it. But it is what it is. So Frankie says, Morgan will give them valuable info such as sometimes the Jets will run and other times they will pass. I know. And that's the crazy thing is that, it's hard to know that a team's going to do both of those things and at random, it's crazy. So, but isn't it funny on another level, guys, that the Panthers now have the coach we were about to sign, and then McCagnon blew it, pushed him away. They have our franchise quarterback from a year ago, last 3 years. They have our offensive lineman. They have our wide receiver that was, the best wide receiver we've developed in a millennia. And they have our backup quarterback that we wasted a 4th-round pick on. Isn't it interesting? And then they have an offensive lineman. Did I say that? There's another guy, too. Forget who it is. Oh, yeah, Trenton Cannon, our kick returner. He's actually did very well as a kick returner. So let's see. Hold on. Hold on. Yeah, and when I'm typing fast, just know it sucks. Okay. So Gitmo Bomb says, not really a big deal. It's like leaving a phony game plan in the locker room for Belichick to steal. All the calls will be changed and the game plan is not in place. I agree. I think the one area that I think can be beneficial is looks. So which types of plays come out of each package? So they say, if he says, look, anytime that we have this set, It's going to be this or this. That's it. You know what I mean? Those types of things. So it's interesting. I don't know what Steve Sitchel's all about. Is this guy trolling? I don't know. What are you doing, Steve? Talk to me. Say, what is it? What is he doing? So Brian Lemo says, Darnold probably asked Morgan, so hey, did they talk about me? Is that guy official or is it just a fling? That's hilarious, Brian. Do they still talk about me? What are they saying about me? Do the fans hate me? Do the fans like me? What's Joe saying? I bet that happens. Just kind of, they make it look organic, right? Like, they still talking about me? That's funny. All right, so let's do this. So the James Morgan thing, I will say this. When I first heard it, it bothered me. It's like I don't want to give them any edges. Like we already have issues, right? 1, Carl Lawson's not playing. 2, Vinny Curry's not playing. 3, Ronald Blair is not playing. So, Mekhi Becton has been in the concussion protocol for 3 weeks or 2 weeks, whatever it is now. AVT hasn't played in the preseason. Elijah Moore hasn't played in the preseason. Denzel Mims hasn't played, in the 2 game, right? It's been 3 weeks now. So we have a lot of injuries. And then on top of that, we have the youngest secondary in the NFL. Watu-K99, can you find out, do we in fact have the youngest secondary in the NFL? That'd be awesome. So here's this, and I'll let Strickland open up our next can of worms here. This is what I want to talk about. It's so interesting. Not having to watch Bless Austin get torched every week has already got me excited for Jets football. Do not understand the love for that guy. Young guys might suck, might be good. We all know Austin stinks. It's a very fair point. Did you see that DJ Bieniemy? I don't know if you guys are on Jets Twitter. It's kind of funny. He said that he was originally picking the Jets to win in Carolina. When the Jets cut Blesson Austin, he said, I am changing that to the Jets lose in Carolina because of Blesson Austin. And then if you listen to the press conferences, which I happen to do, DJ Bieniemy asked both Saleh and Gase. His questions were about Blesson Austin. Now, it's interesting, so it's fine. But it just seems like there's like a little more meat to that bone, isn't it? It's weird. So Watu-K confirms. Oh, so wait. So he says Carolina has 7 ex-Jets. Can you tell me which ones? I know we got Robbie, Sam, James, Cannon, Elfline. Who are the other 2? Y2K99. Y2J. Burris and Luvu. Wow, that's right. Luvu. Remember him? Remember how much hope we had in? Now, that's the thing. It's like when you look at a guy, this is what's interesting about Jabari Zuniga and some of these other guys. We held on to Luvu for, was it 4 years? I think it might have been 4 years. Maybe it was 3. It was at least 3. And the guy would show a flash here and there, but it was a pretty good indication that he wasn't going to do anything in the league. Like I said, he had flashes, high energy, high motor. I did like him, but I was routinely disappointed with him. And we kept him around. So I don't know. I think 2 years minimum for a guy. If you can't get healthy in 2 solid years, then you go. But Watu-K99 confirms that the Jets have the youngest cornerback or defensive back, youngest cornerback group in the NFL. So with all that being said, Strickland, there are some issues. There are some concerns. But you bring up a great point, which is at least we don't know. Blesson Austin, did I hate him? No, I liked him, but I was routinely saying, like, I hope he kind of turns it around. Sometimes he looks close. He would like miss a tackle and then lay the wood. And then he would make a nice pass play, nice pass defense, and then he would get burned. And it's like, you like think, okay, maybe he's close. Clearly, this regime, it's not lip service, guys. And me personally, and I hope you do too, I'm taking that as this is exciting. Like they're not just saying we want to get younger and build through the draft. They're getting younger and building through they're playing all of their young guys. What an idea, guys. Think about this. Just think about this for 1 second. Imagine this. Let's draft some guys and play them. You know? Let's draft some guys and stick them on the field. Let's do it. I think it's crazy. Usually we want guys to prove so much until we let them on the field. And I get it. But I think I really like this. And I think we're going to run into some days where it's like, whoa, man, we are outmatched. I think it's going to happen. But I also think there's going to be days where these guys seem to really get it. And not for nothing, if they do get it, if they start to click a little bit, think of how long we're going to have this batch of players playing together. Imagine. Like, look at Zach Wilson, Elijah Moore, Corey Davis is here for 3 years. We have Denzel Mims here for 3 more years. The offensive line, Becton, AVT, Michael Carter. Like, these guys are going to be here together for a while. These guys are going to be here for a while. So I like it. Now, look, I'm going to say this now. You guys are rocking in the chat. You guys are crushing it. Like every time I turn around, I look, there's like 35 new chats. I love it. And I love that you guys talk to each other. Just in the event you really want me to see something, even without super chat, which I got to get to. I'm sorry, Austin. Oh, shit, I missed it. Austin, write your question again. My bad, dude. My bad. I got talking. Just write the question again. But thank you for the super chat. I'll get to it. I promise. Think it was Austin. Let me just see here. Shit, man. I feel bad when I do that. I'm sorry, my friend. Not intentional, I assure you. Let me see here. Yeah, because it cuts me off. I can only go back so far. It's weird. But anyway, in the event, even without super chats, except for this one, will get you in. Yeah, okay. Austin, let me know your question now. Let me know your question, buddy. Yeah, I'm sorry about that because I do appreciate it, man. I did see it. I meant to get right to it and I got sidetracked. But in the event I don't see something that you really want to see, say, make sure to just write it again. I'll try. And then if you do the @GreenBean thing, it does pop up a little bit brighter for me. So I tend to see those too a little bit. So, all right, let me back it up again. Let me see did Austin write another question yet? Where is he? Okay. So Johnny P says, I said this a couple months ago. Usually the head coach, especially defensive guys, want veterans, but Saleh is the opposite. We could wind up with an amazing core. Yeah. Like, look, as scary and unnerving as this is, because it is, it's like, look at how some of these young cores were made. Like, look at, just as an example, not that we're going to look at Peyton Manning, Edgerrin James, and it was Marvin Harrison at the time. Dude, they were together for a big chunk of years, man. And they're Hall of Famers, these guys, now. But it's like, we never have that. We always have like 2 years. We did have some good times with like Vinny, Chad, Krebet, Curtis Martin. But like, other than a smattering, the last 15 years, we have guys for 2 years, a year together. And then it's broken up again. Every year we're starting over. They're trying to build this core now. Now, the only problem here, Johnny and everybody else, is that hopefully we took the right guys, But if Saleh and Ulbricht and Odin and LaFleur and all these guys, if they are worth their salt, which I think they are, dude, they can turn these athletes into the players they want. They'll run their system. Yeah, Mike, this is it. This is the crux of it all, Mike. This is it. What happens when we start 0-4? How understanding will we be then? Aha. Me, I'll be fine. I won't be happy. Don't get it twisted. But if we went 0, it would depend in the way we go 0-4. Like if we go 0-4 and it's like the team is clearly getting better, like they're close, stupid mistake, I would be fine with it. Like this year is this year. This year is totally evaluation. Can you Y2K9? I'm very curious. What's the youngest? Maybe I don't know if this stat's out there. What was the youngest? And I see your message. No sweat, man. It's all good. What was the youngest defensive team ever? Like, what are we in that conversation right now? Think about it. We don't know who's going to start on the outside, and we don't know who's going to start at nickel. But it's either going to be a first-year guy or a second-year guy at nickel, and it's going to be a first-year guy at corner. We only have Isaiah Dunn, Brandon Eccles, and Jason Pinnock. Well, we have Justin Hardy. He's not playing. He's emergency. So, has there ever been a team that started this many young guys? Bryce Hall's second year. I mean, our safeties are a little better. We got Marcus May, LaMarcus Joyner. I don't know about this guy, Redwine, too much. I looked him up, but I can't honestly tell you that I've followed him or anything like that. Let's see if Austin's back. So it's interesting, man. It's like, that's a great question. It really is. So let me ask the chat. You guys okay if we start 0-4? But we can see some progress? We see that it's progressing? Like Greg Tarr says, I'm taking a mulligan on this year. That's fantastic. Right. So Braden says, depends on how we play. But Eminon says we're doing it the right way. And then he follows it by saying, we just have to stay patient as a fan base. And I'm going to tell you right now, that is not one of our virtues as a fan base. It is not one of our virtues, man. I'm looking for you, Austin. So I see where you say it's all good. I'm trying to see if you got something in here. Just want to make sure I get to you, buddy. Let me just make sure. I don't see it yet. Right, Gitmo Bob, this is kind of what I'm thinking. He says, just be competitive and play hard. And Jets Tales talking to Mike says, it all depends on how we play during the game. I could take a close loss with good football play. 4 blowout games where we look like a high school team, I'm not going to be a happy camper. I think that's very well said. If we look like we did last year, completely devoid of emotion and passion, literally looking like we do not belong on the field, and if the games feel like they're 7 hours long, that's a problem. That's a problem. But I'll tell you right now, everybody, if we do go 0-4, you're going to see it. Let me share something with you guys. There are guys out there right now, and it's all over, like Jet Twitter, Jet Nation. There are guys that are not really rooting. They're Jets fans, diehard Jets fans, but they're not really rooting for this whole experiment to work. They didn't like either Joe Douglas. They didn't like Robert Saleh. They didn't like the picks. They don't like Zach Wilson, whatever it is. And they're waiting in the wings to jump on whatever mistakes or negatives take place. And there are thousands of them, man. They're out there. The guys who didn't want Sam traded or whatever it is, whatever the motivation is, they're out there. And I saw it in spades this week with the roster. It got ugly, man. It got ugly. Joe Douglas. I saw one, and I know this guy, and like I said, I like this guy too. I've chatted with him. Another guy I rarely agree with, but he's so he's like so caught up in this other thing, which he's like, Joe Douglas sucks as a GM. Sure, he's done well in trades, but he has not brought in one player that we can honestly say is going to be here a long time and is good. And my comment is like, well, dude, He's literally his second draft class hasn't even suited up yet. Like, isn't it early for that? And no, like I said, I happen to like what he's doing. I like the way it's done. I cannot say that I love all the players yet. I can't, because they might be terrible. But I like the process. I like the mentality. I like the way it's being done. And I do like the coaching staff and like the tiers down. I'm telling you, I'm very impressed. I am. And then there's the trades. But I'm not even saying Joe Douglas is the best GM on that side. I'm saying I like what's going on so far. I mean, he's got my support. But to jump out and say the fact that Zuniga was cut, who I knew was being brought back, I was 99% sure of it. Yeboah was cut after giving him the game ball. Like, all this kind of stuff. Like, dude, they came out. This Jets, it's the same old Jets. And I'm like, really? We're not even done with the roster. It started as soon as like the cuts started coming. It wasn't even done. And every year they make the cuts. And then guys are re-signed, and then another guy comes loose, and there's going to be jostling for the next little while. It happens all the time. So the fact that we were jumping out there so quickly shows me that they're out there, guys. I don't know if anybody of you guys might be some of them. I don't know. And again, we're Jets fans, so it's all fine by me. But I'm just saying, just prepare yourself. If it starts rough, which it very well could. It could start with the loss to Sam and Robbie. It could start that way. Just know, brace yourselves. Yeah, Johnny P says it all depends on how Zach looks, and I agree. And then Matt said, GreenBean, it's not about the record. And I look, with a grain of salt, right? Like, I'm rooting for, 12-5. I am. But it's not about the record, really. Like, what if we do this? And this is one of those Jets fan twisty ties. What if we lose, like we're 3 wins, but we look so good in the process? And like maybe the last 3 games of the year we win. We get the top 2nd pick overall kind of a thing. Does that make it better? Oh, it's terrible. Right. Frankie says, if we're 0-4, but Zach is the real deal, no problem. Braden's, I just want to see exciting football and good progress. That's it. And I'm with it. Duncan, right. Hey, Duncan says, as long as depends on how we lost the games. Right. So I agree with that. So let me ask you guys. Let me just scan. I want to see where Austin is. Let me see where he went. Let's see if he threw something in here. I'm looking, Austin. I can't see you, buddy. I don't see. Let me just make sure. What's up, Harry? Rockaway Archie. What's up, guys? I see you. Yeah, this is a good one too. Rafi Sanders says, I'd rather see Wilson have a Herbert type of season than the Jets win games. Like that, technically speaking, is more important. And I agree. I agree. Now, the interesting thing is if he does look this good, why aren't we winning games? Like, is it the new secondary or whatever it is? That would also have some bearing on how I feel. But it really is. It's about Zach Wilson. Most important, way up at the top of the pyramid. Right below him is our offensive line staying healthy and gelling. That's number 2. Right after him are our wide receivers, skill position guys, running backs, all them. Are they able to stay healthy, and are they effective? Is Zach building rapport with these guys? Is it like never the same 3 guys on the field? They're always hurt. That's tough. But I'm going to tell you right now, more than likely, we are going to lose games because of our secondary. I can't imagine a world where that doesn't happen. Yeah, Lenny Cott. Right. 0-4 getting pummeled and not progressing would suck. 0-4, the Jets are competing and putting up points and yardage. I'm okay. I agree. Now, I think once it happens, if this were to happen, it might not be as easy to say this as we are now. Maybe. Emotions are tough. Emotions have no logic. You know that. But I think we are of sound mind right now, and it's right. I think it's good. So John Holton, like I said a bit ago, we know we are not winning this year. So we throw the young guys into the fire. If we hit on 50% of our picks and undrafted free agent, we will be set for a decade. Perfectly said. And how are we going to find out? By playing a more than likely subpar cornerback in Bless Austin? Like keeping, let's say it's Eccles, who I think looked the best in the preseason out of that group. So it's Bryce Hall and Eccles. So instead of seeing what Eccles does in that capacity, we have him not playing because Bless on Austin, who more than likely, guys, is never going to be a great cornerback. And I like him. Came out of Rutgers, 6th round pick, fought back injury after injury. Dude, how do you not like the guy? I like him. But more than likely, he's not going to be a lockdown corner. So they've identified that already. He's not the guy. If we needed help, maybe, depth, maybe. But I want to see the young guys. I want to see Eccles, Pinnock, Carter, Guidry. Done. That's what I want to see. And Holton's right. If they are good, if we hit on 50% of them, guys, let's say Hall and Eccles are great, but maybe Michael Carter and Guidry are kind of subpar, and Pinnock's no good, but, we got, Hamilcar Rashid comes in, he signed and he's good, or Bryce Huff is good. Like, dude, then we're on to something. We're on to something. All right. Where'd it go? There it is. So Tom Coleman, thank you for the super chat, my friend. 4.49 British pounds. I appreciate it. I love all the different money. The other day we got Mexican pesos the other day, and then some Australian goodies. It's nice, fun. I think for me, the loss and injury really put me from 12 wins to I just want to see improvement because we have 5 years of Trader Joe and Salah. Go Jets. Isn't that interesting how important that man was? And it's not that it's just him, right, Tom? Like it is him, but then underneath that, Vinny Curry got hurt. Ronald Blair got hurt. Those were our two kind of workhorse guys. Rotational workhorse guys. The guys that were going to not allow us to have to put all the weight on guys like Bryce Huff, like John Franklin Myers. Let them kind of increase their role at a respectable clip as opposed to going from undrafted free agent to full-time starter. So when you lose that group of guys, it's not easy to come back from. And then, look, we haven't seen Quinnen. I mean, we know our boy Quinnen, but we don't know what he could be out of shape as far as football shape goes. We don't know. We don't know if his foot's, really going to be the same. Like, we don't know. So I agree. It's like losing Carl Lawson and then to a slightly lesser degree, Vinny Curry, Ronald Blair, who's back on the practice squad. But then you add like Zuniga. Think about if all our guys were healthy. Think about a rotation. You have Carl Lawson, and you have Vinny Curry, Bryce Huff, John Franklin Myers, Jabari Zuniga, Ronald Blair. Everybody's fresh. And then these young guys are being brought up. They're only playing 20% of the snaps, 30% of the snaps, 40% of the snaps. Then it's like, okay. But I agree. It's like that Carl Lawson thing, and then it's like the rug got pulled out. What is this? Some sort of, what is it? Zucchini bread? Thank you.
Kind of.
Teen Beam with the zucchini bread for the win. Oh, it's awesome.
I know, right? Awesome.
Awesome zucchini bread. So, yeah, man, I'm with you. So thank you, Tom. And that's just it. I do hope that we're able to get a whole bunch of pressure on Sammy, though, right? We don't want to go from 3 years of that guy being chased around like a chicken with his head cut off to going down there. Then it's us playing him and he's super calm and collected. That would bother me. Wouldn't that bother you? Fucking piss me off, man. It would. So New York Jets tales, teams are going to misunderstand what our linebackers are doing, and I see a lot of Mosley picks and breakups. Did you see New York Jets tales? Did you see Saleh said a couple things? Number one, he said our defense is ridiculously young. Did you see that? And then he chuckled when talking about Mosley being flanked by rookies. He actually laughed. He chuckled like, we're crazy. What we're doing is nuts. So, look, I like Jamie and Sherwood. I actually, interestingly enough, I liked Nasruddin in the draft. My radar wasn't on Jamie and Sherwood. Since they've been here and I did my little, learning process, I thought Sherwood would start over Nasruddin. I think it was leaning that way. But the fact that they're both going to start and CJ Mosley needs to stay healthy, dude. You know what I mean? Now that Jared Davis is out. But those three guys are super athletic, and CJ Mosley is very cerebral, very intelligent. So I think you're right, man. I think we could see a lot of that stuff, especially against Sammy. I think they can bait him into some stuff. I'm really excited to see what Saleh and Ulbrich put together. And how great, if you guys aren't familiar with our defensive backs coach yet, Odin, dude, you got to listen to this guy talk. He's incredible. I fell in love with him. He's so incredible. And like the fact that they're giving him this young defensive backfield, I got him. These are my boys. Like he's going to train them, like raise them together. It is exciting, man. It's exciting. John Rogers. Oh, yeah, he says that I just want to lose every game and get the top pick, then trade down and get more. Yeah, dude. Now you're starting to sound like me. I gotten so, that way because of all the loss, all the losing. I started rooting for losses mid-season, like forever. Sucks. And then we have the debate: are you a real fan? And blah, blah. Yes, I'm a real fan. I am a real fan, and I root for losses at the end of I do every year. Last year, I was totally rooting for 0-16, man. But I'm glad we didn't get it. I like Zach Wilson, and I wanted Trevor Lawrence. I wanted him, and I still think he's going to be great. But I'm happy. I'm happy with the way it's going. I'm happy with who we got. It's all good. So Sneakers to Boots, thank you for the super chat, my friend. GreenBean, keep up the great work. JD's built a better team in 2 years than McCagnon did in 5. We as a fan base need to watch and grow with this team together. Oh, I agree. Beautifully said. Sneakers to Boots with the rallying cry. Again, it just echoes what we're talking about. Like, we just need to be patient and know going in. Like, we got to win week 1. I don't care. And week 2. After that, everything's gravy. Right? Oh, sorry. I didn't see you there, Watu. Let me see. Okay, hold on. So, Watu K99 has some stuff for us. So, Carolina was 23.45 years old last year. That was the youngest team in 10 years. With the Curry injury, we only have 3 players over 30. Griffin, Joyner, GVR, and Moses is 30. So interesting. It would be the 6th youngest opening week starting defense that the Jets have put out since 1970. The first year in which game-by-game starting lineups are available. It would be their youngest unit since 1990, 31 years ago. Dude, that is incredible. Youngest Jets D ever is 1976. 24 years old was the average. This year, it's 25.4 years. Dude, that's fantastic. Thank you. You guys hear that? So it's the 6th youngest opening week defense since 1970. So we're not quite as, I had this impression that it was the youngest team of all time. Like, that's how I feel. Clearly, I'm a little bit of an exaggerator at times, from time to time. That is fantastic. So the sixth youngest team since 1970, but it's the youngest team, youngest defense that the Jets have put out since 1970, the first year that we started doing that. It would be this is our youngest team in 31 years. So for all the guys who are in their 20s, 29, even 30, right? Because you're not watching it from when you're an infant. This is the youngest team you've ever seen. That's kind of cool, isn't it? This is the youngest team we've ever seen as a collective, most of us. You got the guys like Gitmo Bob and Greg Tarr. They've been around a little bit longer. A few others. Thank you, Y2K99. That's awesome, dude. Yeah, well, Friggle D. And what's up, my friend? Friggle D, he says Sherwood got toasted last name. C-Mac will torch him. Well, interestingly, they just came out. First 3 plays were against Jamie and Sherwood, and that tells us some stuff. One, let's say it's happenstance, just the way it ended up. But I don't think that's accurate. I think they came out and picked on a guy that they identified in the 2 practices that they had with us can be picked on. Young, maybe a little bit sloppy, a little bit confused, Now, the first play, he made a good play on the ball. When he tackled the guy, he landed on his stomach, Jalen Rieger, and he just bounced off him and went. So that's one of those things. That happens. It's rare, But it does say that. Now, he did settle down. He did. But, yeah, it's scary, man. Because it's not like we like to talk about our defensive backs, but that bleeds right into the defensive, the front 7 with the linebackers. It's going to be nuts. This is going to be crazy, man. This is going to be crazy. All right, let me catch up to you guys. What doesn't look great? Let me see. What's Ultimate Clashers? Sorry, hold on. Oh, yeah, let me do that too. Thank you, Y2J, Y2A. So if you haven't hit the like button, please do. I want to tell you that starting next week, I'm going to have a nice little contest for you guys. I'm trying to get my channel up to 4,000 subs. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. If you haven't hit like, please do. It means the world. It helps YouTube algorithms, and we can spread the Green Bean love around the world. I have plans, man. I got plans for you guys. If you saw what I was working on, you'd laugh your ass off at the fact that I'm even doing it. So anyway, support the channel if you can. I also have my Patreon. The information to the Patreon is in the description of this video. Be greatly appreciated. $5, $10, or $25 tiers. And we do some stuff. You get the stuff that I put out before everybody else. We have a Discord. We have a live chat that you guys get with me, video chat. It's super cool. So if you find it in your heart, you want to support the channel, that is greatly appreciated as well. But the simplest way you can do it is just to hit that like button and the sub button. And we're gold if you do that. So Ultimate Clash said, it makes me sad because I know everyone is similar in age to me. Now, how old are you? How old are you, Ultimate Clashers? Let me see. Let me back it up a little bit. You guys are talking about Todd Bowles. Let me tell you something. Todd Bowles inspires no one. Maybe he's a great defensive coordinator. That's fine. But let me tell you, he hasn't done anything without Bruce Arians being underneath Bruce Arians. So that dynamic works for him. You don't know if Todd Bowles with anyone else, it'll work. You know what I mean? I don't know why, but there's something to it. So I don't know. Todd Bowles was a very poor head coach. Now, at the time, I'll be honest with you and tell you something. When the McCagnon Bowles thing was going on, I was convinced that Mac was getting Bowles his guys, and I couldn't stand Bowles. I liked Bowles the first year. I mean, I was rooting for him like anyone else, except for the Chan Gailey thing, but that's a whole different thing. 3 offensive coordinators in 4 years, 2 of who were retired before you called them. That's not a good look, right? So I didn't like Bowles the last 2 years. I was done with him after 2 years. I just didn't like it. I didn't think he was good. But I thought that Mac was getting Bowles his guys, Darren Lee, these hybrid kind of guys, Jamal Adams and Marcus May in the same draft. It reeked of Bowles to me. It seemed like Mac trying to get Bowles his guys. Learning later, when Bowles was fired and Mac got that draft, I thought it was going to be the best draft that we had in years because Mac was free of Bowles. Anyone want to take a guess if I was right or wrong? Dude, that draft boggled my mind from the word go, not trading back, taking Quinnen Williams when we had our defensive line already, Leo and everybody else. I couldn't believe it. And then taking Ja'Kai Polite. And then even Blake Cashman, Trevon, no center. I couldn't believe it. So that was the moment for me that I realized that McCagnon sucked. It took me then. I didn't like the moves he was making, but in my brain, it was Bowles. I found out later that they didn't even like each other. They weren't even communicating. Mac wouldn't let his scouts talk to the coaches. So, but damn. So I think Bowles got a raw deal, even by guys like myself. But he was not a good head coach. Definitely not. Me, no, I wasn't a Fields guy, but I definitely liked him more than a lot of the Zach crew. There were people that were just Zach all day, every day. Me personally, I was Trevor Lawrence. That's who I wanted. And I was hoping that the Jets were putting out all this kind of hoopla about Zach Wilson that would make the Jaguars do what they did years ago with Bortles over Bridgewater, and they would take Zach Wilson, leaving Trevor Lawrence for us. That's what I was hoping on a whim and a prayer, But when it came down to it, when I realized, I was like, realistically, Trevor Lawrence is going to the Jaguars, and we have this group to pick out of. I liked Zach Wilson and Justin Fields the same. For me, it was whoever's going to be a better fit for our system, which it looked like Zach Wilson probably would be. I was like, that's the guy I want, But if they would have said Justin Fields, I would have been just as happy. I know a lot of Jets fans wouldn't have been, but I would have been. And I also liked Trey Lance. And I also liked Kyle Trask and Kellen Mond. I like Mac Jones too. But so if the Jets decided to trade back, acquire 3 firsts and a second and take Trey Lance or take Mac Jones, I would have been happy with that. That's just me. But that all said, I was kind of equal. Seriously. I liked Justin Fields and Zach Wilson above everybody else. But then it was Trey Lance. Yeah, I guess Trey Lance alone, and then it was Mac Jones, Kyle Trask, Kellen Mond. I liked all those guys, but I'm very happy with Zach Wilson. Once they took Trevor Lawrence, that was good. I'm very happy with it, and I love what I've seen so far. But I wouldn't say I was a Fields guy. This was a weird draft. I liked them all. They all had problems for me, but I believed in Joe Douglas and the staff. All right. What's up, Eddie Mcguire? GreenBean. Just saw you on. Been cleaning up the last 24 hours from crazy water damage. Oh, my God, dude. Let me tell you, I saw some videos from my brother-in-law's house. And he's in Staten Island, but he has a house in East Orange whatever. Dude, there was craziness. And then my sister's friend's basement, there was literally water pouring in through the doors, up the doors crack, the door jam, just pouring through 3 feet high. I sincerely hope that everybody's okay and that whatever damage took place wasn't so bad for you guys. And I'm real sorry to hear that, Eddie. Man, you know, I remember, and this isn't on that level maybe, but I remember Sandy, my grandmother's house in Ortley Beach. Half the house literally floated into the bay. Like she was right on the bay in Ortley. And half the house went in, just see you later. Goodbye. It was crazy. My brother-in-law owns the restaurant Used to Be's in Manalocan between Point Pleasant and Seaside there. And he was closed for months. Like it was devastation down there. So I'm hoping that this doesn't touch that. But man, you see the guys, you know, in New York, the subways. Damn, man. So I'm really sorry. Like, I hope everybody's okay. I should have said that earlier. So, Eddie, I appreciate you bringing it up. I hope you're able to relax, man. I hope you're able to, you know, get everything you need done and that it's okay. Because that's some serious stuff, man. And look, I lived in Florida for 15 years with the hurricanes and everything, man. And thankfully, we didn't get battered too much when I was there. I moved there right after Wilma. And then I left right after Irma, which was crazy town. But yeah, man, it's never fun. That shit, it's like, it's crazy when you think like a storm comes and everything I own is gone. And then everybody puts in an insurance claim. They get inundated with 56 million insurance claims all in the same week. And then you know what they do? A lot of the time, they don't pay. So it sucks. So yeah, man. Eddie, I'm glad you're okay, man. But Bowles is a good defensive coordinator. Yeah, Used to Be's. That's my brother-in-law's spot. Friggledy. Used to Be's in Manalocan. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's right by your house. Cool. Yeah, I'm not at Used to Be's all the time. Whenever I go to New Jersey, like I'm coming up for the Jets game, I'll more than likely be staying in Point Pleasant. That's where my sister lives. So that's my mother. So I stay there. But my other sister and brother-in-law live in Staten Island. So I might go up there. It's a little bit closer. But it's expensive, man. It's like $15 to cross the bridges. Long gone are the days. I used to go into the city constantly. GWB and Lincoln Tunnel and Holland Tunnel. It's $4. So it's like, everybody's like, dude, that was 30 years ago. That's my brain. It's $4. You go there and it's like $12. I'm like, dude, where are we? What is this? So like Blunt in Vegas said, you know, be safe, everybody. I hope you're all okay. If anybody, you know, I am a therapist. I haven't done it in a minute, but I am a therapist. If anybody needs any counseling, you can reach out to me on the DM. I'll talk to you. I got some guys that I help out. Jets fans, you know, I got some guys. I'm always looking to help out, man. But Friggle D, if we go, skag. I haven't heard that word in forever. Skag. Oh my God, I have not heard that word. It's got to be high school, dude. Some skag. That's crazy. That's hilarious, though, Friggle D. Yep. That's a great point. I was going to bring him up, Amarello. And how you doing, my friend? So he says, I saw Chiefs YouTubers were pretty disappointed with them unable to resign Tim Ward. Now, guys, listen to this. Tim Ward has been, I think it's 3 years, has been their little pet project, a guy they've been working on developing. This was supposed to be the year that they folded him in and he was going to make his impact. Chiefs fans love him. About across the board, Chiefs fans are pissed off about this one. The fact that they let him, they dangled him, trying to get him on the practice squad real quick so they could do whatever they were doing. You know, that's like Douglas. He's working it. He's taking risks. He's doing the thing. He's trying to build his roster. The fact that we took him, Chiefs fans are very unhappy. They like this guy a lot. Now, he hasn't done much yet, but he's long and lengthy and strong, and I'm still getting to know him myself. But I did see all that, man. So Amarello is 100% correct. So what do you guys think of Tim Ward? What do you think of taking Quinnen Williams' brother? Like what do we think about our waiver claims? Can I tell you? I thought we were going to put in like 4 or 5 waiver claims. There were some guys out there I couldn't believe were getting let go. I couldn't believe it. What do you guys think? We got Quincy Williams is his name. So we got Quinnen Williams' brother, Quincy Williams, and we grabbed Tim Ward from the Chiefs. So was this okay to you? I wanted to get a little offensive line help. I wanted to get some tight end help. Dude, Nick Eubanks was let go. Jacob Hollister was let go. I don't know. Hey, Watu K99, if you're still there, can you look up where Jacob Hollister is? Like, I don't know where he went. And Nick Eubanks. I want to see where these guys got signed because I couldn't believe that they risked him. Now, Nick Eubanks was right in the same pocket as Yeboah for me. You guys remember, you hung out with me all draft. I was all about a certain group of these tight ends. Tommy Tremble, Nick Eubanks, obviously Freiermuth, but that was way up at the top. But like in the middle rounds, I was looking at Yeboah, Tommy Tremble, Hunter, Long, and Nick Eubanks. And I couldn't believe like they were all dangled. And I'm like, oh my God. But we already got our guy, Yeboah. And we'll talk about him in a few minutes. See, I don't know. Slaugo is asking, is Quincy Williams any good? Everybody, I'm sure you guys saw it on Twitter. There's that one play where he like completely decleated that guy. You know, he ran in, the running back was coming just about to get through the hole, and he just creamed him. But I don't know. I didn't even know he had a brother. That's how much I know about him. You know? So Tim Ward is on our the Hollister went to Jacksonville, dude. So he's expected to go or he went already? Eubanks went to Philly. Dude, I don't like it, man. I wanted these guys. I wanted all of them. Did you see Seth Williams was there? Watch K99. Do you know where Seth Williams? Let me see. Seth Williams and Quincy Roche, or Roche, some call him. I'd love to know where those guys went as well. So there were so many. I mean, look, 864 players were just dangled. Right? So that's why when somebody says the fact that the Jets dangled anybody, it means they suck. No, I don't think it means that at all. It's the game. It's what they do. Now, if he was, somebody who was going to start or something, yeah, you don't dangle that guy. You didn't see Mekhi Becton dangled. You know what I mean? So obviously there are levels and tiers to this, but it doesn't mean somebody sucks just because they're putting them on the practice squad, especially now with the 16-person practice squad and all that sort of stuff. Hey, Jets by Jimmy, what's up, buddy? Hollister to Jags. That's crazy. Eubanks, right. Philly. Williams looks free. Quincy Roche went to the Giants. Seth Williams is still out there? Oh, my God. I loved him coming out. That's crazy. I think I was calling him this year's Terry McLaurin, but I said that about 5 guys, so don't tell anybody. But that's crazy. No news on Williams in 2 days, man. Thank you. That's crazy. Any other guys of interest? What'd you guys? So we let our offensive lineman that, let me tell you this, and I heard from a lot of Jets fans, a lot of guys liked Corey Levin. A lot of us, myself included. And they stole him. Those bastards. Where did he go again? Where did he go? Morgan went to Carolina. Was it Tampa Bay? I think Tampa Bay grabbed Corey Levin. We still got Jimmy Murray. That's good. We still got Connor McDermott. He's on IR. But man, it's crazy. You watching the Broncos? The Broncos are playing right now? Oh, you're watching college. I got you. He's watching his Boise State boys. That's what Jimmy's doing. Roche claimed by the Giants. Yeah, I know. Noah Gray. How about Noah Spence? Noah Spence. Levin went to Tennessee. That's where he went. Thank you. So he says there's no news on Seth Williams in 10 days. That blows my mind. You know, it's a funny thing, man. It really is. Like, you know, us guys out here, and there are varying degrees that we dig into this stuff, right? Some of us go real deep. Some of us are just kind of surface level. It's fun. Some of us don't know anything. And then there are guys that go real deep in this direction. Like me, I love my tight ends. I love receivers and offensive linemen. I rarely know much about defensive tackles, safeties. I just not, I don't have the bandwidth for all of it. So those are like outside of my immediate interest. But it's crazy, like how much we think we know out here. Like we just read all this stuff and we watch as much as we can and we talk about it. And then the draft comes and fucking everything is out the window. It's like we didn't know anything. It seems like we're just a bunch of greenhorns, you know, just that don't know anything. It's crazy. So what was Matt saying? So Matt says Yeboah needs to develop. The tape on him wasn't great. He has potential, but needs to be developed. Now, can our coaching staff develop him? That's a great question. Or will he eventually get a proven tight end or draft one high next? Well, I think and it's wise. Like, look, you give a guy a shot to make it. You give a guy a shot to make it. It's like the thing with Bless on Austin. Like people are crying that Bless on Austin got cut, but dude, they gave him every opportunity to shine, and he didn't. So what do you do? At what point, right? So with Kenny Yeboah, it's interesting. Like I said, they gave him the chance. He showed in the final preseason game that he's got something worth working on, and he showed that at Ole Miss last year. I mean, he had a very strong year last year. Not great, not Kyle Pitts, but he had a strong year. So you get a guy and he shows something and you develop him. Now, having him on your team for a year is really going to show you what he can do, what he's unwilling to do, what he can't do, and where his ceiling is, at least for the most part. So in the event we can develop him, at least even a little bit, taking a tight end next year in the first 2 rounds doesn't mean Yeboah is off the team. What it means is that you're developing a young stable of tight ends, which so many people overlook the tight end. I don't know. I think tight ends are vital. They can do so much for you. When you get a good one, so much. So I think it's interesting what we're doing with Kenny Yeboah. Like, look, we kept the old dudes. We got, Tyler Kroft won the job flat out, right? He was blocking very well. And he obviously had those 2 touchdowns and everything. Herndon, it is what it is, but he didn't show anything. Daniel Brown showed a little, but he also had all those drops. But we also learned that Daniel Brown might just be a Brant Boyer pick. Okay? Daniel Brown might be a Brant Boyer pick. Hey, Watu-K99, is there any way to find out how many waiver claims there were? Like overall, like there were 864 players cut. How many claims were put on players? Like not just re-signed. This might be a hard one. I don't know if this is possible. How many guys were claimed by other teams? Is there a way to figure that out? That would be amazing. Oh man, I'm so interested. I want to know like the percentage. But think about if we develop, going back to Yeboah, think about if we develop a young core of tight ends. So you have a vet like a Kroft. Let's say Kroft sticks around. And then you got a Yeboah, kind of a pass catching, leaning more towards that side of things. And then you get one of these guys, maybe it's, Kolar from Iowa State or the guy from Ohio State, Ruckert, who's fucking fantastic, by the way. If he stays healthy, he's going to be fantastic. He's going to be a first-round pick, in my opinion. So you go ahead and you get him. Good blocker, great catch, great receiver. Now you got these young guys. Instead of having how many times we put 6th-round picks in there, and then we just bring in old dudes like a tight end. We never when's the last time we really committed to tight end? It was Kyle Brady. No, it was Dustin Keller. Right? Totally, Jordan. I'm with you. Having tight ends that can be your your good 11 personnel tight end. He can block for you, and he can be a legitimate receiving threat. So he's blocking for you. The quarterback gets into trouble, and he peels off, and dude, safety valve. And then is good enough that you can design plays for him, and he knows how to get open and find the the gaps in the zone. It's fantastic. Successfully claimed by other teams, Yeah, cool. This one might be tough, dude. This one might be tough. Yeah, that's what I think. So I think Blunted Vegas has a point too on James Morgan. I'm not so sure that they want to develop him. I mean, we don't know, but my thought is that they're just going to sign him for the week 1 intel, and then they're going to bounce him off the roster. And then we'll take him back and yell at him for being mean. And maybe Joe Douglas called him and said, hey, don't tell him anything, and I'll bring you back. I don't know if that's allowed. Okay. Red Dog saying Wesco may play both fullback and some tight end. No, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, I think that's probably what we'll see. Depending on how well our tight end group is doing, too. Like, if Griffin is still hurt and can't play, and Daniel Brown's really more of a special teams guy, and it's just Croft, and I think you can see Wesco over at tight end for sure. Why not? I think you're going to see a lot of pass catching from Wesco anyway. I think brace yourselves. Brace yourselves. Wesco is going to be a factor in the offense. I'm convinced. That's right. Jeff Otis Brown says, those of us who watched Mickey Schuler know what a tight end can do. That's right. Mickey Schuler was an absolute stud muffin. There's no way he's anything but. How great was Mickey Schuler? He was one of my favorite players as a kid. A tight end. That's probably why I like tight ends so much. Honestly. That was part of me becoming a Jets fan. Mickey Schuler was fucking great. He was so good. He had a couple 80 catch seasons, 60, 70, 80 catch seasons, I think. Well, that's another thing too, Harry. This is interesting. Now, look, the truth is that when you're claimed on waivers, you don't have a choice in the matter. You go where you're claimed. I mean, you could fight it, but you go where you're claimed. That's the rule. So, I don't think Morgan had a choice in it, but it's interesting, right? If he did have a choice, damn well you're not replacing Zach Wilson here. But down there, you might have a shot if Sam Darnold pulls the same stuff he did last year. Matt Rule's not going to play with that for too long. I think if Sam Darnold is playing poorly like last year poorly, I think he gets a leash of 4 weeks. 4 or 5 weeks at the most. And then he'll have to eat that mistake sandwich, right? All right. What else we got here? So Joseph Grana, how you doing, my friend? He says, our lack of interior O-line depth is a major concern. Our back quarterback is inconsequential compared to our backup interior O-line. Wesco is legit and will have expanded role in the NFL offense. Well, yeah, I think especially, Joseph, when you look at the injuries to the offensive line. Look at the injuries to the offensive line. Becton, right? Like I'm not as concerned with it. Like, they gave us the Becton story from before training camp. Remember, it was before mini camp. It was plantar fasciitis. Then it was he's going to eat himself to death. Then Saleh was saying things about him, and that really means this. Remember? And then it was the ankle. Then it was the shoulder. It was like always something. But at the very end, but then he'd come into games and play lights out. But then at the very end, he got that concussion where he was puking. And that's concerning. I'm glad they didn't even try to get him back. They're just letting him take a cool. But then you add to that, AVT has not played in the preseason. Now, he's not an injury-prone guy, but he hasn't been able to get on the field in preseason. Now, I'm glad that they didn't risk it, right? Fair enough on that one. Fair. I'm with it. But if you look at what we have going into week one, it's not a good look, especially with what you're saying. Our offensive line depth isn't quite where we'd like it. Isn't quite now. Fant is great offensive line depth, as is Chuma Edoga behind him. So we have guys who've played. We have obviously Dan Feeney, who's been on skates all fucking off season, all preseason. And who do we have? So we had, right, Cam Clark is hurt. Who did we sign back? It's skipping my brain. Somebody, watch 2K99. You know who the lineman was that we signed back? Who's our interior line depth? Okay. So Watu-K says 26. Hold on, let me just make sure. 27. So think about this real quick, and then we'll do the other thing, and then we'll come back to this. 27 out of the 600 or 864 people that were cut, 27 were claimed by other teams. 27. Now, if those numbers are correct, he could be missing. There's a little bit, we'll give a little bit of a disclaimer there. It might be off a little bit, but either way, we're not talking about 400. You're not talking about 180. You're talking about a handful. I find that interesting. That more guys weren't taken by other teams. And I don't know what it means. So Jimmy Murray, that's the other guy. Right. I was just talking about him. So now Jimmy Murray I like, but we're talking about experience and Feeney, he's a concern. Now, if they stay healthy, we're good. In my opinion, this is the best offensive line we've had in years. Even with Van Roten, I think our offensive line is good, man. But I also think that, like, let's say AVT goes down and you got to stick Dan Feeney in there. I think LaFleur is good enough to scheme that weakness out of the game plan. Like if it's looking like he's just the weak link on the chain, he can scheme around that, in my opinion. Now, if he's getting dominated, you got to give him fullback help. You got to give him Wesco. You got to give him tight, you got to get guys in there. So there's a way to do it. So I do think that our progress is pretty damn good. I think our front line is pretty damn good, man. And I think that our depth, like our tackle depth, is good. We don't know so much about Jimmy Murray, right? But Dan Feeney we don't like, but I think we're pretty good. We're pretty good. There's a concern, but I like the progress, and I like that we have a Wesco back there that he can plug. If there's a weakness on the line, he can plug it. Wesco's a very good blocker. Not perfect. See, so Watu-K did that one the hard way. And I appreciate it, man. That's awesome. Thank you. The wide receivers at OSU are lights out. Well, Olave's still down there. Right. All right, so Greg Tarr, what does he say? Every team in the league has issues with depth somewhere along the O-line. I think we're looking better than we have in years comparatively. I agree. And I also think, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think we're about to see, we've already seen it for the first 2 years. I think Joe Douglas is going to take at least one offensive lineman every single year in the draft, every year. And I think that's the way it should be. Think about this. You have a unit that has 5 guys on it. It can't go less. 5 guys on one unit. How the hell do you think you can have that unit be successful if you're not feeding it and supporting it? At least one a year. At least one a year. And I think that's perfect. And you can still use free agency, right? But the fact that we're not like depending on free agency, like, look, we brought in Morgan Moses, but the truth is we didn't need Morgan Moses. Fant was going to be fine. Morgan Moses is better? Probably. But he was going to be fine. What does him running a 4.9 have to do with anything? I'm being serious, Franz. Like, what does a 4.9 have to do with a fullback, a tight end? Like, he's not running straight lines. That's not what he's doing. He's there to crush people and peel off and be a safety valve for the quarterback. And then when he gets the ball in his hand, to take someone's head off as they try to tackle him. That's what his job is. You can run 6'4" for all I care. Like me. That's what I run. That's how it's a 4.9. That's how, dude, if I ran a 4.9, I'd be blazing. Hello.
Where's Mother?
I don't know. Why? Listen, I'm live. I can't deal with whatever it is. I'm sorry. Girls. So, but I'm excited about Wesco because, like what I said, like I want Zach Wilson to have, number one, as much protection as we can give him. As much protection as we can give him. Number two, as many safety valves as we could give him. Right? Think about this. We're in 11 personnel. Let's say 21 personnel. Okay, we're in 21 personnel, which leaves 2 wide receivers on the outside. So you got Corey Davis and, for shits and giggles, Elijah Moore out there. You got Croft and Wesco and Michael Carter / Ty Johnson. Who cares? Think about the protection. Number one, you got Croft chipping the edge, whatever side you need it. Okay, he's a very good blocker. So he's chipping the edge. You got Wesco plugging whatever's going on in the inside. You got Ty Johnson coming out being a check down, but also blocking. And then you got 2 pretty damn good wide receivers running around. If they're covered, you got Croft, Wesco, Michael Carter. And then when any of them get the ball in their hand, the rest of them are going to crush everybody because guess what? Corey Davis is known for being a good blocker, as is Mims, as is Keelan Cole. I don't know Elijah Moore. He's small, but I'm sure he's one of those guys who'll throw his body in there. I'm sure he's like that. He's that kind of guy. You know what I mean? He's been showing people that his size doesn't matter forever. That's the kind of guy he is. He outworks you. But think about how exciting that is. And let me say this too. Isn't it funny how much we loved Dan Feeney a few months ago? No, it had nothing to do with football. But isn't it funny? We loved him. Now everybody's like, get him out of here. I don't care how many beer cans he smashes on his face. Yeah, Grant Hermans. That's right. He's back too. He's practice squad though, isn't he? Let me look. Let me make sure. Y2K99. Would you mind pulling up the practice squad? Maybe copy and paste it in there. Just so I have it here. I know, Red Dog. That's the funny thing. But hey, look, and there's nothing wrong with having the desire for us to be good, to be better, to be continually and consistently improving. But we got to remember where we came from. It's the same thing like with when guys like, Zuniga or Ashton Davis or whatever, you're saying, cut him. When the guys never plays. It's like, we got to remember, this is a brand new project. This is brand new. Everything is fresh out of the box. Joe Douglas wasn't even the sole boss until a few months ago, 6 months ago, 7 months ago. What is it? When they fired Gase, it took like another 2-3 weeks or whatever it was for Chris Johnson to say Joe Douglas will be the boss and the coach will report to him. So we're not even a year into this where Joe Douglas is the unquestioned leader of the New York Jets. We got to give it time. We got to give these guys, the guys who can't be healthy, having a spot for them on a 16-man practice squad. I got no problem with that. No problem. You know, like giving people time, playing the young guys. Like Salah's never coached as a head coach in a regular season game yet. Mike LaFleur's never been an offensive coordinator in a regular season game yet. Zach Wilson's never played a game in the NFL regular season. So it's like, we got to remember, our offensive line last year, the last 2 years, was 31st and 30th, I think it was, right? Like, dude, we were in the dregs of the NFL. Now we're here, and I think even with the weaknesses, the Dan Feeneys, you know, whoever, we have the support around them, the West Coast, the Crofts, all of our running backs can block. P. Ryan's a fantastic blocker. If that's what you need, if the line's getting beat, dude, you have help. We have it all schemed in while we continue to draft and build our team. Still have 10 picks next year. 2 firsts, 2 seconds, a third and 2 fourths, a fifth and a sixth. I think we still have 2 fifths, don't we? I think so. Braden says, if Amendola goes 100%, the first game, I'll be his biggest fan. It's all it takes, huh, man? That's all it takes, Braden. I'm with you, though, buddy. All right, so let's take a look at our practice squad real quick. Well, but I'm with you. I think, look, we've had luck. Outside of the past 2 years, we've had a lot of luck plucking guys off the scrap heap and them being good for us as far as field goal kickers. That's why I think Mac got ahead of himself with Jason Myers. He's like, I don't need to give anybody money. I can find one. But you look at Nick Folk. Okay, he was off the Dallas Cowboys, if I remember correctly, scrap heap. He was cut. And we signed him, and he was one of the best kickers we ever had. Before him, A.J. Feely. Scrap heap dude. And then we had Jason Myers. He was cut. And we signed him. So the last 2 years have been rough, but we've done this before numerous times. So Amendola, if he ends up being our kicker it'd be the best news ever. And that's all. If he's 100% in the first game, we're going to make a song about Amendola. How's that? I'll make a song and I'll play it for you. What do you think of that? Maybe I'll end tonight with a song. What do you think? We'll make a song about Amendola and Zuniga. What do you think? So here's our practice squad. So wait, so who is our backup offensive lineman? If Murray's on the practice squad, is it Grant Hermans? No, let me see. All right. So no, Grant Hermans is practice. So here's our practice squad, just to be clear. Running back Josh Adams, defensive lineman Ronald Blair, a Saleh favorite, right? Offensive lineman Grant Hermans, who I think very highly of. Cornerback Lamar Jackson, it's my boy. I think he's going to ultimately end up being a safety in the NFL, but it's fine. I'm glad he's back in the practice squad. Quarterback Josh Johnson, wide receiver DJ Montgomery, offensive lineman Jimmy Murray, linebacker Delshawn Phillips, defensive lineman Hamilcar Rashid, defensive lineman Tanzel Smart, who I thought looked pretty good as well, out of nowhere for me. Wide receiver Vincent Smith, offensive lineman Isaiah Williams, and tight end Kenny Aboa. And then today we added Zuniga, and that leaves 2 spots. We still have 2 spots open on the practice squad, which is crazy. I wonder who it is. I wonder what we're going to do. See, the thing is this, I think if we end up bringing in McKinney, You see us where we were working out Forrester today? I think if we're able to bring in McKinney, maybe somebody like a Daniel Brown or just somebody, Griffin, somebody goes back to the practice squad. So they're keeping those spots open. But I don't know. You should still use them. Should still use them. I don't know what that is. Correct me if I'm wrong. So the Jets, here we go. And this is to be clear on our picks next year. This is awesome. Thank you. We have 10 picks. We gave the one away for Shaq Lawson. And then we gained one, the fourth back for Herndon, but we also gave a 6. So it just was a wash. So we're still one down from the 11 that we had. So we have 2 in the first round. Yeah, two in the second, 1 in the third. Fourth, we have 2, right? I think I can't wait. 5th round, own, and the Steelers, right? So we have 2 5th rounds. We got the Avery Williamson pick coming in, who's still out there, by the way. Doesn't that blow your guys' minds? Okay. So what do we got here? Let me back up and see what's going on. What's up, Derek? I see you, buddy. All right, so Frankie from Flatbush, who, if you guys don't know, him and Jeremy have the Calm and Chaos show on Sunday nights. It's fun. It's a blast. It's a blast, man. Frankie does all kinds of great videos. If you haven't seen Frankie's channel yet, you really should. I mean, and I'm not only because I want to support him and everything, but for your enjoyment. Frankie from Flatbush, his channel it's a joy for me. I love it. He had a real good one about the field turf and some other stuff. He's just really unique takes, man. And I think you guys should check it out and support our boy. He's here every week with us. So he says, think about it. Last year, Feeney started 16 games at center for the Chargers. He's our backup. That's perfectly fine. It's a good way to put it. What do you guys think? And that's a good point. I mean, the Chargers fans were totally ready for him to get the hell out of town, just like us with Brian Winters. And you know what I mean? He wasn't great as a starter, but he's our backup. He's a backup with NFL starting experience. Dude, it's like you can't expect to have all-stars at your backup. It's a great point. So Strickland, what's he saying? We got to get our boy next draft. That's right. He's 400-pounder. Falele. Zach might not be able to see over the line now. He's the same height as Becton, isn't he? Or is he 6'8", 400 pounds, who can move? We got to keep an eye on that guy this year. See how he really does. Yeah. So Joseph Grana, does anyone love the fact that Elijah Moore has not been seen by Carolina in a game and he's our most explosive player on our team? It's like showing up with a secret weapon. Kid's going to explode. Yeah. Isn't that nice? I like that. I like that perspective, Joe. I think that's a great perspective. We're going to show up. They haven't. James Morgan's go, I don't know anything about Elijah Moore. I never played with him. I never played with him once. Oh. So, okay, let me get back to the chat here. You guys are the best, dude. We got 170 people in here. If you guys haven't hit the like button, please do. It's greatly appreciated. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, it's just about the easiest thing that you could do in the world. And it's free. It's free, and it helps me so much. So much. And then you have the Patreon. Information to the Patreon is in the description of this video, and I greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to support Jets by Jimmy, Jeremy Cravat, and Frankie from Flatbush. Got all kinds of guys in here. It's awesome, man. You can go see my full-time coaster tour videos, which I took a little bit of a hiatus the last 10 days. I'm about to make another video about Cedar Point. That was good. Oh, don't say that, Ultimate Clashers. Ultimate Clashers, it's now required that you delete that comment. You do it. You can't. You can't do that. Hey, Matt, are you going to the opening day game? I mean, the home opener, I mean? You got to let me know if you do, buddy, because I'm going to be there. It would be so great to see you after all these years. It's going to be a lot of guys that we're meeting. So you guys know, look, we're kind of playing it cool, but I want to just tell you guys, we're going to go. I'm actually getting the pleasure of sitting with Matt O'Leary, which is just so cool to me. Ryan's not sitting with us, but Ryan, Matt, and I are going to be hanging out for the lion's share of the pregame, tailgating and everything. We're going to go hang out at Jetnation for a little while, hang out with the boys over there, but they're having like just a calm tailgater. So we're going to go hang over there, shoot the shit for a little while, and then we're going to go to Gotham City Crew, their tailgater. So if you want to get in on that, I think there's a cap. So you want to get in on that soon. It's like $60 for all you can eat and drink, dude. They have shot girls and waitresses. It's going to be off the chain. So I would love to meet as many of you guys as we can. And then Matt and I are sitting in 310 row 3. So if you want to throw an egg, by all means. Thanks, Phenom. There you go, buddy. So listen, I want to tell you, Seamus, I want to say this. The Friday night before the game, so not this Friday, next Friday night before the game, we're going to have a kind of like a Monday night mock situation, but we're going to do a Friday night. Maybe we'll do it here. We'll just do the Thursday thick of it. Cause I know you guys want to go out on Friday nights and shit. I don't think like that. Cause I don't do anything. I just sit here and stare at this cube screen, but, we're going to have our final season prediction video. We're going to do a whole thing for it. We're going to factor in and count every single vote for every single game. It's going to take us 2 hours or maybe an hour, and then we'll talk about it. But we're going to do our final season prediction right before the game, the Thursday. So that'll be next week then. So next Thursday, look at me. I'm figuring it all out as I go right in front of you. That's good, man. Right. That's it. 50-11 saying it right, man. Draft picks take 2 to 3 years to be good. That's the truth. But it doesn't mean they can't be good. It takes 2 to 3 years a lot of the time to understand what they're going to be in their career. Sometimes even a little longer. You know, back when years ago, the draft picks didn't even play for a couple of years, a lot of them, especially quarterbacks. Most quarterbacks, they sat for a year or 2 or 3, you know. But now it's different because of the contracts and everything else. But I think Elijah Moore is still going to be able to have that impact. He's not going to be an every down receiver, but when he comes in and they're going to be keying on him and they're still not going to be able to stop him. And I can't wait. I can't wait. Hey, Eric Ainge from Tennessee. You guys remember Eric Ainge? I remember Eric Ainge. You could have been somebody, buddy. You were somebody. You still are. Had the addiction problems too. I was with you the whole ride, buddy. If that's really you, which it's not, but anyway. Can you live feed your pregame tailgate so the internet? Yes, absolutely. We're going to be doing all sorts of different stuff. Now, Matt, Ryan, and I got to kind of work out how it's going to be, but we're going to be going live all over the place. Absolutely, without question. We're going to be recording a lot of content. We're going to be going live. We're going to be doing all sorts of fun stuff. And absolutely, John, we're going to make sure that you guys are there with us as much as we can have you there with us. Anybody who can't come. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, right. This wide receiver core is going to be fun to watch. I'm looking for something I saw. What's up, Scott Wilson? That's okay, buddy. You're here now, and that's all that matters, right, man? He says, late for the stream, 10 more days, though, and I'm itching for kickoff. Salah, Zach, Quinn, and Elijah, I'm stoked. We are going to put the league on notice. I think so, too, man. Like, we've been talking, Scott, about a lot of the issues that we're going to have, right? Our cornerbacks, our linebackers, maybe some offensive line depth and issues. We don't know about, the tight ends, like all kinds of stuff. We have lots and lots of question marks, particularly on our defense. But that said, guys, there is so much to be excited about. So much to be excited about. And he just used a bunch. Elijah Moore, Zach Wilson, Becton and AVT together. CJ Mosley back after 2 years, flanked by 2 rookies, dude. Fast, aggressive, young, hungry, blue-collar rookies. Behind them, rookies. It's going to be great. We're going to be starting 2 rookie cornerbacks, 2 rookie linebackers. That is insanity. Insanity, my friends. I love it too. So, Matt, did you say if you're coming or not? You should reach out to me. Dude, don't forget, our running back room is good. And Jimmy, I just saw Jimmy talking about it. It says O-line improved, running back has improved, quarterback, wide receiver, D-line. Right, it's all improved. Like, we're not there yet, most likely. Who knows? I mean, there is a slim chance that this coaching staff has this group of young players so fired up and they gel so quickly that we dominate, but we take the league by storm. That's possible. It's unlikely, but it's possible. It's possible. And if that happens, holy macaroni. But realistically, what we're looking at is to focus on the improvements that we made. We had the 32nd offensive line or 31st offensive line 2 years ago. Last year, we were like 20th. So there was improvement. When Connor McGovern settled down, Van Roten settled down toward the end of the year. So we ended up, I think we were like, near 18th or something like that. So there was improvement. Then we had AVT and Morgan Moses to that line with George Fant backing up. Chuma Edoga's around. Who can also play guard. And he played center before, Chuma Edoga. So, the guy's multifaceted. I know a lot of fans kind of dumb with him, but he's okay. He's definitely good for backup. He's very versatile, especially with this run scheme, dude. If you guys haven't bugged out on the wide zone yet, you got to look at it. Like just dig in for an hour and just watch how it all kind of develops. From the center, the running back, the 5 steps, the 3 steps, to the spreading out of it. It's fantastic. It's like made for athletic linemen and running backs that just like we have. I can't wait, man. I'm so excited. Leave the body, take the zucchini bread. Yeah, look, I still have more. I regretted taking that bite because I couldn't swallow. I couldn't talk. It's so good, dude. My wife is awesome. Hell yeah. That's a good point, John Rodgers. I'm going to have 3 battery packs with me. I'm going to have 2 GoPros. I'm going to be set up. It's going to be good. So Liam Riordan's here. What's up, buddy? He says, hey, Bean, kind of a random question, but who's your favorite current Jet besides Yeboah? Yeboah is not my favorite Jet. I just think, I like them. I like young players that I think can develop into something, I'm not always right. My favorite Jet player, huh? There's so many damn question marks. I don't know. I would say this. in the event he can stay healthy all year, I think it might be Mekhi Becton. I really do. And I'm usually a defense guy. It's kind of how I'm built. I'm a defense guy. Even though I want to see our offense fucking score points, I'm just wound that way. I think defensively, you know? But yeah, I think Mekhi Becton might be my favorite player if he stays healthy. Like, I love everything about him. I love how nimble he is for his size. I love his size. I love his desire to crush people and push them off the screen. You know what I mean? And like when they're falling down, he drives into them. Like, I love that. You know, a lot of that came from those big shoves that he had, and he can't do that. He's got to learn technique, which he's doing. But I love that guy, man. He just has to stay healthy. If he stays healthy, if he gives us, 5, 8, 10 years with good health, he's going to be one of the best players we've ever had, in my opinion. So let's do that. Let's look. We got a couple minutes left. Let me see something here. We got a couple minutes left. Like, seriously, 5 minutes. Why don't we do that? That's a great question, Liam. Before we leave, why don't you guys tell me your current favorite Jet, your favorite Jet on the roster right now? That would be great. Me, Freeman McNeil all day, 50-11. I like Curtis Marr, but not for me. Freeman McNeil, I love him. He asked me, Freeman McNeil, Curtis Martin, who's your fave? Now, my fave, I'm not going to say who was better, but my fave is Freeman. Current Jet blunted, current on the team right now. So Emanon says Quinnen Williams. Or do you mean Quincy Williams? Y2K, get in on this. No, not ever. Current player. Joseph Schwertz says Braden Mann. Scott Wilson says Quinnen. See? Johnny P says Zach, going right to the top. It's like, hey man, let's stop playing games here. Jets by Jimmy says Elijah Moore. Yeah, he's going to be exciting, man. Ant Jets 82 says Q. That's Quinnen, for those people who don't know. Ty Johnson. Ted Moore says Ty Johnson or Zach. Isn't it hard sometimes, Ted? You want to say one per, you can't. He's like, I can't. I got to put this other guy in here. I can't. I get it. Eddie Mcguire says Elijah Moore. Matt Green says Denzel Mims. You know what? He's close. He's top 3 for me. Honestly. He's another one. He's got to stay healthy, man. But I love him. I love his game. I love his attitude. I love his game. I love him. I love everything that he brings. He's my kind of receiver. If I ran a team, I would have all of those guys, and then I'd have my one little shifty dude in there, just like Joe Douglas did. That's why I like him so much. That's why I like. He's doing it in many respects the exact way I want to do it. I love big blocking 6'3" receivers that are fast. So that's good. Liam says Guidry. Yeah, there it is. Hank G says, gotta say Becton, right, man? I'm with you. Isaac says Zach W. Zach W. I get it. It took me a second. So, wow, Y2K current, he says AVT. That's fantastic. That's fantastic, man. AVT, right out of, and we got to see him, though. He's another one. You got to stay healthy. Red Dog says Q, big year coming. Jeffrey Lance says Becton. Duncan, Elijah Moore. John Amarello says Elijah Moore. He's got quite a few. McDonald Grisette says Gastineau. Well, I hear you there, buddy. Try to give me a current on the current team. Gastineau was my favorite of all time, too, though. I'll tell you right now. He's the guy who got me into the Jets, for sure. John Post says Denzel Mims. Another one. That's good. I'm proud of you guys. I'm proud of you. Brian Limo says Elijah Moore. I love how he said he wants to be the greatest, and he has the Mamba mentality. Right? I like his dude. I like that guy's attitude, man. Currently, Wesco from Rusty Spooner. Dude, that is great. What a good poll. I love it. Matt Simon says Elijah Moore and Zach Wilson. Another one. He just couldn't do it. I can't give you one. I get it, man. Braden Bethwaite says Braden, man. He's had two already. Eddie Mcguire says Elijah Moore. McDonald Grizzetti says, yeah, there you are. So he was just setting me up. He was building, right? I get it, man. It says Becton. He's with me. Tom Bon Jovi says Ty Johnson is going to be a problem out there. Yeah, man. Greg Tarr, CJ Mosley. Love it. I think if he comes out and plays like the CJ Mosley we were getting in 2019, he's right there for me too. But we just haven't seen him yet. I get nervous. Joseph Schwartz says Braden Mann. That's 3 for Braden Mann. James Thrice says Marcus May. Ah, yeah, right. Let's not forget Marcus. NPC, Carl Lawson and Elijah Moore. Carl Lawson. Yeah, I know. He would have been a lot of people's, I think. Blunted Vegas says CJ Mosley is my favorite. His 1/4.5 against Buffalo was legendary. Dude, it's one of the best that we've ever seen. Do you know that? So, Strike thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it, my friend. Marcus May and Elijah Moore. It's a tie. Right. It's like I literally can't decide. It's got to be these two because they're one. Marcus May and Elijah Moore. It's good, though, defense, right? Defense and offense. Thank you, my friend. So, let's see. Where did I leave off? Here we go. Slago says, big baby, baby. You know who that is. That's Quinnen. We know who that is. Brad Finkelstein. Does anyone know what happened to Lawrence Cager? I thought we said, nope, we didn't. We didn't. And he didn't get signed either, I'm pretty sure. Maybe Watu-K99 can let us know where Lawrence Cager is today. I don't think he got signed. No one. So there he is, already there. No one signed Cager. No, yeah. You know what he points? That's hilarious, man. He says, no one in the chat said Feeney as their favorite player. Isn't that interesting? Not one of you. We had Braden Mann and all these other guys. Wesco. David Greer says Zach Wilson. Frankie says Corey Davis and Mims. Frankie's just like me. Those are my kind of guys. Eddie says Elijah Moore, offensive rookie of the year. Derek F. Carl Lawson. Phenom Q. Gitmo Bob Amendola. That's right, man. It's important. Garrett Ham says Zach Wilson. Eddie says offensive rookie of the year again. Let's see. Jerry Philbin. There it is. Derek says Carl Lawson. You're right. Exactly. That's funny. Yeah, I see what's going on out there. Hey, New York Sports MC. What's up, buddy? He says Sala is his favorite player. Why not? I love him too. I'm with it. Joe Lindsay, CJ Mosley. That wasn't one. Joe Swert says Mims. Michael Basso says Q. Yeah, Scott says Joe Douglas is ultimately my favorite Jet, though. That's right. Garrett Ham says Cole. Yeah, it's all right, MC. He's your favorite. All right. Is there anybody I didn't get? Jeff Brown. Big Green says AVT. That's all right. Thomas Henny. You guys are all starting to go twice. I can't figure it out anymore. All right. Well, if I missed you, I'm sorry. Daniel Yanez says Tristan Hodge tried out for the Giants. Interesting. Okay. Brian says Robert Sala. Brian Scantlebury. So, guys, listen, man. It is 11:05. We have pulled off another 2 hours and 5 minutes together as family and friends. I really appreciate it. I want to thank Watu-K99. He's been here all night hanging, finding us stats and pulling stuff out so I don't have to stop the flow to look it up. I appreciate it, man. I thank you for being here. It's just incredible. I got to remember we got to get more into the themes so we can start to kind of prepare, get more info for everybody. It's going to be cool, man. We'll build this. But I really appreciate it. Let's thank Watu-K99. He's one of your boys, man. He's in here every week. So I love it. No love for Mike LaFleur. Let's say hello to him real quick. Hey, man. Thank you for working on this with us today.
Yeah, it was fun. Whatever we could do to make the show better. Yeah, I'm all for it. Glad I can help.
That's awesome. Now you're the best, man. I appreciate it. So listen, hang out. I'm going to end the show. Hang out. I wanted to chat with you right after. Cool?
Sounds good. I'll be here.
All right. Everybody give him a little thank you and some love. He deserves it. That's awesome. I love to be able to meet you guys. It's so cool. It's fucking put faces and stuff. So before we go, Brian Lemos with the super chat. Isn't it great? We have so many names to choose from now, not like last year where it was all just like Mosley, even Bell. We got a whole set of ballers now. I know, right? Think about a year ago right now, dude. Le'Veon Bell, Frank Gore. You know what I mean? Oh, it was terrible. That's a great point, Brian. Look at all the names, all the fun names. And there were more we could have said. You could have said Hamza Nasruddin. You could have said John Franklin Myers and got away with it. You could say Sheldon Rankins. You know what I mean? You could. You could say Keelan Cole. Some people say Keelan Cole. But yeah, I think that's a great point to end it on. So guys, I want to thank you for being here. It's just the best. You guys are the absolute best. We'll talk again real soon. I got some content coming out tomorrow for you. And with that said, be safe wherever you are, man. It's been crazy. I hope everybody's okay. And I will see you next time. How's that sound? Have a great night, everybody. And then he goes and brings in Carl Lawson. What did the curse do? The curse took him. Joe Douglas knew this. And maybe didn't know it was him. But it was definitely taking some people. I brought in the medical team to make sure. Like, did you hear what Robert Saleh said about Carl Lawson? Said this is a freak. The guy does literally every single thing that you need to ensure you're going to be healthy. He works with the training staff. He works with the medical staff, the dietitian, everything. He hydrates. He stretches, the whole thing. The curse took him. Joe Douglas knew that. Again, he didn't know it was going to be Carl Lawson, but he knew.